going to hear from Dengiz Kürşat. Hello, Dengiz. How are you today? Can you hear me?
Hello. I'm excellent. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
If he can hear me, I can't hear him.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Dengiz is joining us from his office in Cyprus, and he's going to tell us about one of the new best opportunities on the Northern Cyprus coast. Again, this is where Dan and Kathleen have chosen to buy their home and where they're hoping to move very shortly. It is where Leaf and myself have also invested in properties pre-construction. So fantastic opportunities here for big appreciation and rental yields. Dengiz has identified our next one on the horizon. So thanks, Dengiz, for joining us today.
My pleasure. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to Panama from Cyprus. I'm sure you're having a wonderful time in Panama, and it's always great to see the crew together. Leave, Kathleen, Kat, great to see you all. Yes, I'm sitting in my office today, and I'm going to be talking about the beachfront property opportunity that we'll be presenting from Cyprus again. Actually, we've been talking about this development for a while. We've been in it from basically about 3 years ago, and I personally watched it basically develop into what it is today from practically nothing. And I'm quite proud to say that we have all been part of this. Avertis, myself, Live and Invest Overseas, Steve and Kathleen and Kat. And we're basically nearing to the end. By the end of the year, we're going to be seeing the first units being delivered to their owners. Dan and Kathleen being one of those. They're now, our families here in Cyprus, and they're like our ambassadors of Cyprus, outside of Cyprus. So, today we're going to be talking about studio units in the same complex that I just mentioned about. It does basically combine not only beachfront living, but also excellent lifestyle. And this lifestyle includes assisted home care services as well as in-place living. It is the only project in this part of the world that combines all these aspects. Again, coupling with the fact that it's absolute beachfront, it gives us fantastic capital appreciation opportunities, but also rentability potential. And what is estimated is that its return of investment is going to be between 8 to 10%, which is one of the highest that is being offered as we speak. The prices start from £76,500, which is about 104,000 pounds, 105,000 pounds, US dollars, I'm sorry. 35% down, which is about 36,000 US dollars, and the remaining payable in 36 months, developer financed without interest, without anything, which brings your monthly installments to less than 2,000 US dollars chargeable to your credit card, which I believe makes it very easy to pay. So what is Cyprus? I'd like to talk a little bit about Cyprus first, and then basically dive into the opportunity that I'll be presenting today. Cyprus is a wonderful Mediterranean island. It is like a Greek island. It's very similar to one of those. I talked about Crete yesterday, and Crete and Cyprus are like twins. The only difference is that the Greek islands are in the Aegean Sea, but Cyprus is in the Mediterranean Sea. We have a fantastic climate. We have over 300 days of sunshine here, which is really something that we really enjoy and take advantage of. The quality of life is fantastic. Obviously, we have a Mediterranean type of lifestyle, a Mediterranean type of cuisine, food, etc., with relatively low costs. This is quite interesting because the alternatives in the Mediterranean, countries like southern Spain, southern Italy, southern France, obviously they do offer a similar lifestyle, but at a much higher cost percentage. So Cyprus is quite advantageous in that respect. It's a very safe country. It's considered to be one of the top 3 most safest countries in the world, and we're quite proud of that. One advantage of Cyprus compared to Greece and all the other countries in the Mediterranean is that Cyprus used to be a British colony. Therefore, majority of the population here do speak English. So if you decide to move over here and live here permanently, you do not need to learn the local language, albeit the fact that it's recommended that you speak at least some preliminary stuff like good morning, hi, hello, etc. But the English is widely spoken, so you wouldn't have any problems communicating with the local crowd because of this fact. North Cyprus is easily accessible. There are many connecting flights through Turkey or one-stop flights from Europe, many destinations. It's a budget-friendly property market, as I said, compared to alternatives in the Mediterranean like Spain and Italy. Similar properties here cost much less. And considering the fact that you're getting a beachfront property on the Mediterranean for $105,000 is really mind-boggling nowadays, considering the fact that we have such high inflation and the prices keep on rising and rising. The medical care facilities that we have on the island is something that we're quite proud of. They're very high standards with affordable costs. A lot of people from Europe come and take advantage of our medical facilities, which include cancer treatments, infertility treatments, and alike. And as I said, they are very high quality. The construction materials are European Union standards. We have to go by European Union standards, which makes us, the construction quality quite high on the island. The taxes are relatively low. For example, rental income, you only have to pay 13% tax on your gross rental income, and then you're not taxed again on your gross personal income. It's not added to your personal income tax. Only 13%, and you're off the hook. The diet, obviously, is the Mediterranean diet. We enjoy a lot of olive oil. We enjoy a lot of dairy products. We enjoy a lot of poultry meats that are locally grown, organically grown. And people tend to live here, even though they enjoy themselves a lot, we eat a lot. We're much slimmer than the rest of the world. We're much healthier looking at the least, which is an advantage of the type of food that we consume on the island. As I said, because of the fact that Cyprus enjoys a lot of sunshine, people tend to live outdoors. We don't tend to stay indoors. We like to enjoy ourselves outdoors, which makes us very friendly people. We like to basically communicate with one another. We basically like to spend time with one another outdoors, which makes us basically a friendly crowd here. Cyprus has been on the crossroads of many civilizations. The Venetians lived here. The Greeks, the Turks, the British, basically all mingled together on this part of the world and on this island. And our culture is basically a combination of all these different cultures, which makes us quite adaptable, quite unique in that respect. The architecture that we have, the cuisine that we have, and basically even the hand gestures that I'm using right now, basically are a combination of many cultures that basically came and went through this part of the world, which, as I said, makes us unique and something that me as a person from Cyprus makes me quite proud of. The nature, outdoor activities, beaches, water sports, etc., is basically a part of daily life. For example, after this presentation, me and my girlfriend and her son, we're going to head out to the beach and enjoy ourselves for a couple of hours and then get back home, finish our Sunday, and tomorrow is going to be a work day for us. So the main economic drivers of North Cyprus is basically the fundamental economical engine of the island is the tourism industry. We've been seeing a steady growth in the tourism industry since COVID times, coupling with the fact that the recent airport that we had opened with a capacity of 10 million visitors per annum. The tourism has been booming. Since 2022, we've seen an increase in tourism from 6 million to all the way up to 8 million people per annum, which contributes hugely, immensely to our economy. We do have a number of casino hotels that are quite popular in this part of the world, and a lot of people from the surrounding countries do tend to come to Cyprus to spend their vacation time, their weekend time, etc., in our hotels. They're quite famous in the region. They're generally 5 to 6 star hotels, very luxurious, very nicely done, and a lot of social activities that are being offered by these hotels. Of course, we have in excess of 105,000 university students, international university students in Northern Cyprus as well, again, contributing a lot to the economy. And of course, the third pillar of the economy is real estate, which is the reason why we're all together here. I'd like to point out one final economic driver that is an up-and-coming sector, because of the fact that our medical facilities are quite advantageous and quite high quality. We've been seeing a lot of so-called medical tourists coming to the island, taking advantage of our medical facilities, which is another economic driver to the island. This graph is quite interesting. It basically shows the price per square meter increase throughout the years in the three coasts that we have been active with Live and Invest Overseas. Obviously, the North Coast, where Kyrenia is the crown jewel of Northern Cyprus, and basically it is the benchmark for real estate pricing. As you can see, from 2005 to 2026, the prices have increased more than fivefold, actually sixfold. And basically, Kyrenia is the tourism epicenter of Northern Cyprus. It does set the benchmark. Iskele, where we started marketing with Leaf and Kathleen's in 2019, has also seen significant capital appreciation throughout the years. For the past 6-7 years, again, we've seen a price increase of about 400% in that area, which means that our investors, our early investors with Live and Invest Overseas and ourselves, have seen capital appreciation at a very, very high level, which I believe made them quite happy. However, given the fact that Iskele, the East Coast, has basically reached the prices of the North Coast in Kyrenia, Leaf and we decided to shift focus to elsewhere, to another part of Cyprus, which with an up-and-coming mentality or atmosphere, especially in terms of prices, at which point, about 2.5-3 years ago, we started focusing on this project on the West Coast. As you can see, prices have been increasing in this part of the world as well, on this part of the island as well. However, there is still a huge room to grow to reach the benchmark points of the North Coast and the East Coast. Therefore, we're still expecting the prices to double, which is why we said it's double your money, Europe's next great beach property. We still expect the prices to double because the benchmark is there, both on the East Coast and the North Coast, and economics dictates that the prices will double eventually. In my forecast, we're going to see this happening within the next 2 to 3 years. So there's still time to make good money in Northern Cyprus. As I said, our early investors from Live and Invest Overseas did enjoy great capital gains, but there's still great opportunity to be taken advantage of on the west part of Cyprus. Again, talking about Kyrenia, Girne, which is the north part, we've seen this is what the Kyrenia looked like in the 1990s in the upper picture. Now in the lower picture, you see what it came to. A lot of people flooded in. It's become very, very popular, and the prices increased significantly. This was the East Coast when we started marketing with Leaf and Kathleen. It was a nice beachfront little town. I can even call it a village. But now it's a huge town with a population over, I believe, about 15,000 people that basically moved in, mimicking the likes of Dubai in this part of the world. As you can see, some high rises, some low rises, etc. The beaches have been completely redone. A lot of famous people moved in, celebrities moved in, and it's become basically an attraction or a focal point in this part of the world. So, as I said, the North Coast and the East Coast has completed their developments. Obviously, the other coasts also have completed their development, and the only remaining part of Cyprus that is still promising good capital appreciation potential before the market really matures and basically settles is the West Coast. As you can see, we started marketing in early 2023. The prices were less than 1,500 pounds per square meter. Now they're close to 1,600 pounds per square meter, and they keep on rising and rising with the potential to rise even more. So what is the West Coast? Basically, the West Coast, as I explained a minute ago, is the only remaining developing coastline in Northern Cyprus. It does enjoy a certain lifestyle that the other parts of Cyprus does not enjoy. It is basically nestled between the two mountains that we have, which makes it quite productive in terms of its soil. Therefore, everything's grown in abundance organically over there. There are a lot of citrus fields, potato fields, all types of vegetables are being grown there, watermelons, etc. And basically, the local population there tend to grow everything themselves, and they don't buy, especially their veggies and their poultry and their meat from anywhere else. Everything's grown in abundance because it's very, very fertile, very productive soil. And it's basically an export hub for Cyprus, especially for the oranges, lemons, and grapefruits. It's an emerging property market. As I said, it's basically the up-and-coming area. The potential for appreciation is there. We expect the prices to double within the next 3 years. This is my personal expectation. As I said, backable, which is backed by numbers. And because of the existing mentality over there, people tending to live longer, healthier, more organic, the government decided to allocate this part of the island for well-being and assisted living, health type of complexes. Currently, all the casino hotels and everything are concentrated on the north coast and the east coast. On the west coast, the tourism is basically focused on medical tourism as well as ecotourism instead of casino tourism, which I believe makes this area quite unique. My personal taste and opinion is that this is a fantastic area to be in. It's what old Cyprus used to remind us. Mediterranean lifestyle, healthy lifestyle used to bring us. It's still alive. It's still going over there. One funny thing, people over there enjoy this yavaş yavaş lifestyle, and yavaş yavaş in Turkish, it means slowly, slowly. Basically giving us a hint of their mentality in terms of living. They take everything easy. They don't stress out. They enjoy life, and basically because of that, they're happy and they tend to live much longer. So again, this is the map of Cyprus. The project that I'm going to be talking about in a minute is marked on the left with this red balloon that you see. It's very close to the capital, Nicosia. Also, the tourism capital, Kyrenia. You can drive within 50 minutes. You'll be there. The nearest town is about 1 mile away, actually a little bit less than 1 mile away, which is walking distance. The hospitals, the first shopping strip has also been opened up over there. It's a very nice up-and-coming area, as I explained earlier on. The airport is about 1 hour, 20 minutes, and the Larnaca and Paphos airports are about 1 hour, 40 minutes drive. So it's a very, very well-connected area that is, as I said, becoming more and more popular as we speak. As I said, the west coast, especially this area, is nestled between the two mountain ranges that we have on Cyprus. So the coast, or the mountains basically meet the coast, which gives us a fantastic scenery, grandiose type of scenery over there. It's also home for the largest freshwater dam in the country. The picture on the right upper side is the picture of this dam that we have. It's a huge dam. Generally, I get the question if we have enough water to sustain what's been going on in Cyprus. Actually, we have more than enough water to sustain what we have going on in Cyprus. We have so much water that right now, sometimes we have to let it back into the sea because the dam's capacity gets filled up, and we have to let it go somewhere. So unfortunately, it is the case. But the good news is that we have more than enough water that we can consume, that we need. The area is, as I said, organically driven. It's called. There's an orchard valley there as well. It's basically a spectacle to view, to watch, and the local cuisine is basically based on organic Mediterranean lifestyle, which makes people tend to live longer and happier over here. Strawberries, all other types of food, citrus gardens, oranges, watermelons, etc. is grown in abundance. As I said, history, again, this part, not only this part of Cyprus, the whole island of Cyprus has been on the crossroads of many civilizations, which makes us historically unique and abundant. And this is something I really enjoy living in this part of the world, because when I travel elsewhere, I don't get to feel this history behind me, or this history overlooking me. Every stone, every corner has a unique character. It has a story behind it, which I believe makes it fascinating to learn and basically live in this part of the world. So, since we talked about Cyprus and on the west coast, I'd like to start talking a little bit about this development that we've been marketing. So it is an ultimate combination of beachfront living as well as assisted home care services and in-place living, what is called in-place living. So I'm sure you pretty well know the in-place living is where the residents are able to get medical assistance on site if they so, God forbid, of course, if they so desire. So in the center of the project, we're going to have this medical facility over 33,000 square feet. Wellness, well-being, and assisted home care services. We're going to have resident doctors over there and resident nurses over there. We're going to be also having an infertility clinic over there. So all these doctors and nurses are going to be available on site 24/7, and the residences will be able to make use of these the services of these doctors and nurses on site if they so desire. This is a fantastic advantage because think about it. It's like having your own private medical facility on your site, basically at a walking distance. So God forbid anything goes wrong or you need continuous or continual medical assistance, you can basically pick up the phone and ask for assistance from the medical facility downstairs, and your nurse or your doctor will be on your doorsteps within minutes. This is a fantastic lifestyle opportunity. So as I said, it not only has the beachfront living, but also combines this in-place living, so-called in-place living, which assists the individuals medically. I was there last week, actually 2 weeks ago, visiting the site personally. Right now, as I said, especially the first part, we're nearing completion. The windows have been installed. This is an actual picture taken by my crew. The landscaping has been completed. The windows, the kitchens, etc., have been installed. And we're nearing completion and really, really excited that we're going to be delivering the first batch of units by the end of this year. I've been really proud, basically putting this place on the map and watching it grow to what it is today, and basically being very close to delivery. It's been a fantastic transformation from this little town to this fantastic facility that we put together, and it's going to be really amazing to watch when people start to move it. This is a wider angle. The beachfront is being, as we speak, modified, being redesigned, redone. There's a walkway before the beach and the buildings, so people can walk miles and miles if they wanted to by the water. Another advantage of this area is that you don't really have to basically jump into a car or cross a road or anything to get to the sea. Basically, you can walk to the sea, you can walk to the beach, you can enjoy your beach, and it's really fascinating to have a property first time to the beach on the Mediterranean at this price point. Aphrodite Wellness and Anti-Aging Resort, as I said, over 33,000 square feet medical wellness and well-being center. What we're going to have is that wellness treatments. Obviously, we're going to have medical treatments, as I explained. We're going to have beauty treatments and home care services. So if you so desire, you're going to be able to come and ask for the assistance of the doctors and nurses over there. So this is the wellness center being completed. As you see, the skeleton has been completed. We're fast approaching the deadline for delivery by the end of this year. So within the next 6 months, actually less than 6 months now, we're going to see everything being completed and delivered. So what will we offer? The wellness treatments will include everything from fitness and recovery, skin and beauty, and mind and balance, so regular wellness treatments. Most importantly, the medical treatments will be offered. As I said, assistant care is something that we are really concentrating on. The local population, the residents there, we're going to be able to take advantage of the doctors and the nurses that are going to be residing over there. Preventative medicine and also diagnostic and screening is going to be offered to residents, which basically will catch, God forbid anything goes wrong health-wise, will catch quite in advance before it becomes anything dramatic, becomes anything problematic, and be taken care of, which I believe is the way to go, instead of waiting until the last minute where all the harm or damage has been done and it's irreversible. So this is something really to look into. We're going to have the treatments there as well. There's skin treatments, body contouring, etc., massage, etc. Home care services, which is something I explained. We're also going to have a hotel there run by the Dedaman Hotels. It's also one of the biggest hotel chains in Turkey. I'm speeding up a little bit. I'm 6 minutes to completion. So what we're offering today, again, our studio units at about $105,000. You pay 35% down, which is about $36,000, and the remaining 65% is financed by the developer, interest-free. And the installments are less than $2,000, which can be charged to your credit card if you so desire. A little bit about the condos that we're talking about. So this is a typical rendering of the unit. They're considered large hotel rooms, kind of. Very easy to rent, high return of investment. You're looking between 8% to 10% return of investment. We have similar properties in the area as well. that are delivering 9%. The slide got stuck. So we're going to be back. It's going to have an aqua park on site, so it's going to be family friendly. People will be able to use it with their families, take advantage of the units with their families, which will basically increase the rentability potential. The beach is there, the closed swimming pool, the open swimming pool, the yoga and meditation suites, the gym, the sauna, the mini golf, etc. Everything is actually on site. Some of them are operational as we speak, and some of them are being completed. The beach and water sports, obviously, they go without saying. It's quite advantageous and popular in that area, especially, but also throughout Cyprus. The outdoor swimming pool and the outdoor jacuzzi and the beachfront area has been completed. The landscaping has been completed. The indoor pool, indoor heated swimming pool is completed. It's in operation. Soul therapy rooms, etc., have all been completed. So, as I said, it's a very, very unique opportunity. It combines many aspects, not only beachfront living, but also combines lifestyle opportunities like in-place living, which is the way to go as we speak, especially once the population has been aging. Medical assistance to be received on site is basically a blessing to get. The steam room, the gym. So what we can do for you, I know Cyprus is a long way from home, but we have accumulated enough expertise to assist you remotely with a turnkey management system. I personally will help you pick and choose the best unit according to your needs and wants. We have lawyers that we've been using for the past 5 years that do understand how Americans and Canadians are ready to proceed, how they buy, what they need to do. And they'll be happy to assist you with that. They're perfect in that. They're very, very experienced with live and invest overseas and Avertis clients. Once we take over your property, when it's completed, we will assist you with the furnishing of the property. My team Avertis will assist you with the furnishing of the property. And once it's furnished, we will transfer your property to the after sales and rental management company, who will take care of the rentals of your property on your behalf. And any proceeds that you have, minus obviously the management fee, will be transferred to your account to your liking. If you come to Cyprus, I can assist you with opening up a bank account in Cyprus as well. You can transfer it and keep your money in Cyprus. We can issue you a credit card. You can use the money accordingly. And basically assist you purchase the property without even setting foot on Cyprus, and then taking care of all the aspects all the way down to renting out and earning your income. Thank you very, very much for listening to me. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. We do have just over 1 minute left. If anybody has a question they'd like to ask Dengiz live while we've got him here.
What are the HOA fees, and how is the healthcare woven into the not lifestyle, but the occupancy? If you come there and you need health care, what's the process for that?
So basically I heard the question. So basically the HOV fees are currently set at £120, which is about $140 as we speak per unit. Obviously, the bigger the unit, that's going to be increasing, but the units that I just mentioned you today, they are set about $140 as we speak. We expect them to go down as more units kick into the system and more contributors basically come into the system. We expect it to go down. Now, how are you going to be able to use the assisted living services? It's basically considered like you're going to have like a menu. And you're going to be basically picking from the menu which type of services that you will be interested in using, and basically ordering it and paying it accordingly. So the good news is that everything is going to be on site. Basically, the medical facility is in the center of the project itself. And whenever you need something, it may be the most important thing is that people may need something on a daily basis. So you're going to have something on your doorstep. You're going to have somebody on your doorstep who's going to be able to assist you on an ongoing basis, which I think is beats going back and forth to the hospital, waiting in line, waiting in queue to get the services, etc. I think it's fantastic in that respect.
Did that answer your question? More or less? We can follow up, yeah. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Otherwise, I would follow up right now. But we are going to say thank you very much for joining us, Dengiz. Enjoy the rest of your evening over there in Cyprus.
Thank you. Thank you. My greetings to all of you in Panama. Have a wonderful day.